Whenever you're ready, Chief, we're going to go.
You got everything ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Let me know when y'all are ready. Okay. My name is Gary Ratliff. I'm Chief Police at the League City Police Department. We will read through the events that took place last night involving with the stabbing. And then when we're done, I'll answer any questions you may have at that time. On March 17, 2021, at approximately 8:10 p.m., officers were dispatched to 1503 West League City Parkway at the Jack in the Box in reference to a stabbing that had just occurred. When officers arrived at the scene, they found the shift manager leaning against the counter with multiple stab wounds. The suspect had fled the scene prior to the officers' arrival. The suspect was described as a bearded white male, approximately 60 years of age, wearing a red long-sleeve plaid shirt with a green backpack and riding a bicycle with a yellow flag. After interviewing the shift manager, witnesses in the drive-thru, and fellow employees, they advised responding officers that the suspect had entered the store without a face mask and was told he needed to have a face mask to be served or use the drive-thru. The male belligerently refused and said they did not want to serve him because he was homeless and began yelling that he would be contacting his attorney as he was filming with the cell phone. The suspect walked towards the door as if to leave. The manager turned his back and the suspect ran up behind him, tackled him, and stabbed him multiple times. Several co-workers ran to the shift manager's aid and the suspect fled the scene. The employees of the restaurant, as well as the other two witnesses, recognized the suspect as being homeless and living in the area. During the course of the investigation, officers went to surrounding areas looking for the suspect, and they found his backpack, and they found his bike, and his cell phones. In that course of investigation, they were able to identify the suspect by the name of James Schultz. He's known as a transient, has a transient status, and the knowledge that he frequents establishments in the area of League City Parkway. On March 18, 2021, the video surveillance was thoroughly reviewed and compared to the previous booking photos on file for Schultz. Based on the comparison, the suspect was identified. The detectives contacted Galveston County District Attorney's Office, and they authorized charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with a $40,000 bond. And at this time, we're still searching for the suspect. Any questions?
Chief, has there been other incidences with you said because of these kind of aggravated incidents with him at other incidents? You said there was other mug shots.
We have never had an incident like this involving this individual that I'm aware of. But because he is not mobile in a vehicle and rides on a bicycle, he frequents all of those stores that run around the League City Parkway area. And that's how he's known. Most of those folks there knew him by sight, but they didn't know him by name.
What was the weapon?
A knife.
Knife.
I don't know. It appears as though that it is a pocket knife that has a flip blade, but it's hard to tell. What we've seen is what we saw in the video, which y'all have been given a copy of.
You guys didn't find the knife?
We have not.
And talk to us about the shift manager. How is he doing? What kind of injuries did he sustain?
He was transported to the hospital. He had 3 stab wounds, and he was treated and released.
Where were the stab wounds?
That I don't know.
Do you know how badly?
It was bad enough that he had to have the treatment and get those. They were deep enough and bad enough, but they didn't penetrate any major organs that I'm aware of.
Have you guys had any other incidents of over mask policy for any of your businesses?
No, and I'm glad you asked the question because it's a very polarizing situation where some folks don't believe that there should be masks and others do. I would ask that people respect the policies that have been put in place by these local businesses and any businesses around. A lot of these people have had some of these events. I don't know this manager, but have had personal events with loved ones that have died and passed away as a result of COVID, as some of our officers have. And so all I would ask is that people respect the opinions and the policies of these businesses. If we have a situation that we get a call in reference to somebody that is failing to abide by their policy of their business, then we will respond to the call. If they refuse to leave, they will be arrested for criminal trespass. And it's just, there's no reason to let it get to that point. You can refuse to do business at those locations or whatever it is you choose to do, but there's no reason to result to aggressive behavior like this.
Chief, can I ask though, on this one, you said that he reportedly told the manager he was upset because they were trying to tell him no because he was homeless and not necessarily make an argument about the face mask.
Based off of the information, the limited information I have at this time, I think the first issue was the fact that he wasn't wearing a mask. I think it was, he brought up the fact that they didn't want to serve him because he was homeless.
How much of this is, to go off TJ's question, is it a mental issue with this customer versus a face mask?
That I don't know. And like I said, we just want to be able to get him in custody so that we don't have anybody else get hurt or injured as a result of his actions, and we'll assess it from there.
Are you worried that he's a danger to the public right now?
Anytime somebody commits an act to stab someone repeatedly over something like this, we have to take them as a possible threat to anyone, including our officers that are responding and that may come in contact with them.
Especially considering he still are.
At this point, as far as we know, yes. And hopefully this individual will turn himself in at some point in time. I just don't see that happening because he is homeless at this time.
Is there any idea where he might have gone? Where people should be keeping an eye out in particular?
So since he doesn't have transportation, unless he hitchhikes or catches a ride with someone somewhere, I would think he's going to be in this general vicinity, whether it's in Leak City or Dickinson area. I would suspect. But if he ends up catching a ride with somebody somewhere, then there's no telling where he'll be at this point.
Did you give us his age?
He was born in 1967. So roughly 53, 54, somewhere in there.
Can you spell his name?
Yes. James Henry Schultz, SCHULZ.
And do you mind giving us your full name?
My full name?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gary D. Ratliff, RATLIFF. F is in Frank. Anything else?
Is the Jack in the Box back in business today? Do you know?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. All right. Well, I thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
If you need anything else, let us know.